right. Hey, Kyle Chisholm, man, this is man, cool opportunity for you. Down to the 250 class. Yep. How are things going, man? One round in.
Yeah, it's good. I've had a couple more days on the bike this week. That was nice. Last week it was super last minute. First time I wore any of the gear was Friday at press. So just that alone was like an adjustment, and yeah, it's just different. So I had a couple days on the bike. Obviously not ideal still. These kids have been riding forever and months preparing. But I feel good. I feel good on the bike. The bike's awesome. We did some things this week, a little testing to get a little more comfortable. Just suspension and setup kind of stuff. Just, I don't really know what I want on it yet. You know what I mean? I need to put some time on it. So, good couple days. I felt good riding. And then we had some rain, so that kind of shortened the week. But yeah, do a little riding here at press, and then see how it goes tomorrow. Try to rip another start. That's the one good thing I did.
Nice. Now size-wise, was there a whole bunch of different changes to make, or were you fairly close and it wasn't too much difference?
As far as what, like
changing your suspension, changing it.
So we went pretty close to like my 450 stuff on my bike.
Gotcha.
Just kind of got settings from my guy that does my suspension, like my normal stuff, and I always kind of work from there. So felt much more comfortable just being familiar. Their stuff's awesome as well, and we just kind of talked, and it's like, with only having a couple days, it's hard, and it's only a few races, 5 races, whatever, and a couple days during the week to try to get it dialed in. I don't want to take 3 weeks to get it, figured out, where I'm like, I kind of know my stuff. Let's maybe start closer to that and help me just be able to ride a little bit more and get used to the bike. So it's kind of what we worked on, and I feel good.
Cool, man. Now I went all the way to Tampa to see you race the Thursday night race. You were there. All of a sudden the bike was loaded up and you were leaving. Rumors were going around about this. I may have kind of said a few things. What did you not? And there were some dark spots.
Yeah.
Why did you know at that point? And that's why you didn't race?
Yeah. So I got the call from Bobby at like maybe 2 o'clock that afternoon.
Oh, nice.
And my dad was already coming over, and he's like an hour or so from there. My mechanic Bobby flew in early. So the first phone call was at about 1 or 2 o'clock with Bobby Reagan. And it was like, okay, I got to make phone calls and figure out. So I'm like, well, let's just proceed with plans. I went there, rode practice, felt really good. I was the only one jumping this one section, and felt good. It's a local track for me. I don't ride there that often, but 20 minutes from home. So I'm familiar, with it, obviously. And then made some I was on the phone the whole time, so it's kind of a distraction from trying to focus on racing. Kind of got some green lights from people, back on the phone with Bobby again, and then I was like, okay, we're good to go, like, let's make a plan. At that point, I was just like, I got a Star 250 waiting on me. I'm like, let's just focus on Daytona and next week or whatever. So it's a bummer. I like racing. I won last year.
Right. That's what I mean, defending champ.
Yeah. So I didn't even get the #1 plate out there. So yeah, it was that's the main reason why I just had that opportunity kind of waiting, and I'm like, not that you can't be scared riding, but it's just like, man, if I had known that before 2 o'clock that day, I never would have planned on being there. Like I said, it was already in the plans. Dad is already going, mechanic's already in there, and it was still iffy, because it was just talked about. And then when it was kind of green light, it was like, okay, yeah, let's pull the plug on this.
Right. Okay, now, so a lot of guys, you get older, ridden the 450 for so many years. Jumping onto a 250 can be like a ton of fun, but it's also a whole different ball game in that class with the young guys. What was your attitude going into it, and was it as different as you thought?
It is different. I did it like 4 years ago. I dropped back down the 1 year for the West Coast, and it's just different. The 250 is different. When I did that, I got like 6th or 7th in the championship that year, which was good. Not being on a factory bike, and I was the first guy not on a factory bike that year. But I had a couple months to prepare for it. Just jumping on the bike a couple days before in the middle of the season is tough. The kids are fast. The top 10 guys in the class they're still fast kids. But yeah, I can be fast too, and try to use my experience maybe a little to my advantage. So. Yeah, it was tough. I think we got the bike set up a little better for me this week, though. Just a little more time on it, and yeah, it's just different. It's different power. The bike is incredibly fast.
I was gonna say, is it as fast as everyone says?
It is. It's. I ride it pretty much close to stock 450. I'm racing, and that bike is just as good as my bike in a lot of places. But it's still 250. It still makes power like a 250. It's a really good 250, but it's still not that 450 type of power.
Do you pull out that aggressive style again? Can you do that, or
you got to ride it just a little bit different? That's what I got to get better at in a quick amount of time, and just adjust to it quick. So that's what I'm trying to do. And like I said, we got the bike a little better. That should help me to adjust a little easier, I hope. So yeah, we'll see how the weekend goes.
All right, now I guess last question. I mean, heading into this week, I don't think you finished where you think you should be, or what did you work on? I mean, not what did you work on, but what do you think this week?
Man, I just would rather do my best. It's hard. I don't really have a number to put on it.
Right.
I don't know.
I know it's a terrible question. It's a dumb
I feel
question.
bad, but like even some of the other facts, I'm like, number so and so. Like I know their names.
Right.
I don't. Which one is that kid again? But they're fast kids, and I'm like, I don't know where I stack up against them. You know, whatever on a 250. If they jumped on the 450, it'd be a different story maybe. But man, I just want to go out there and do my best.
Right.
Last week I ripped good starts, you know, but heat racing in the main event. Made a couple mistakes the first lap or two. I was back to like 5th or 6th, but in a pretty good position there, and I just made a stupid mistake, and rider in front of me kind of cut down in the turn and did 3 into the turn, and I did, and I wasn't cutting down, I was kind of going up earlier, and I just landed kind of hard on the brakes. And brake stuff is one thing we tested this week. Get a little less touchy for me.
We're standing in a spot that's going to be interesting for
brakes. It is right here. So I just, stupid mistake, and installed the bike. And then it took me a little bit to get it going. So, yeah, I went way back from there. But I think, just realistically, if I hadn't done that, I should have been 7th, 8th place last week, I think, you know, without that mistake. But if, you know, woulda, coulda, shoulda, try to do better this week. I'd love to get some top 5s and, you know, be up in the front with those guys. But like I said, just want to do my best, and if I get top 5, great. If I don't, I'll try to be better, you know, the next one.
Nice. Okay, for real, last question. Are we ever going to see you back up in Canada?
I'd love to. I always enjoy my time up there, you know, racing, whatever. So, yeah, any chance that makes sense for me to be up there, I'd love the opportunity to get back up there. So I always enjoyed it. So many Canadian fans that come down to like winter time, you know, guys getting out of the bad weather up there, and they come down to watch Supercross. So many times, you know, hey, we're from Canada, we watched you race, you know, so-and-so here. Yeah, like I said, I enjoyed my time up there, all the fans up there and everything like that. So, yeah, any chance I can get back up there, I love it. I'm getting old, though, so I got to get up there sooner rather than later if I'm going to do it. So.
All right, hey, man, thank you very much. I know you're halfway done walking the track, so have fun out there today, and good luck tomorrow, man.
Thank you. Appreciate it.